Just want to repeat that headline, though, that cross from the EU saying debt restructuring for Greece is not an option. And essentially, this puts Greece one step closer to a default. We are joined right now on the phone by Charles Wyplosz. He is joining us. He is the director of International Center for Monetary and Banking Studies, also professor of economics at the Graduate Institute in Geneva. Charles, so glad you could join us this morning. Keith McCullough is here with me in the newsroom, and he just said, honestly, the Greek finance minister should resign. But I mean, what are the officials supposed to say? I mean, they have to say anybody who bets against them will lose their shirt, but it seems clear that Greece is broke.
Yes, well, Greece is not broke. Greece needs time because it's been hung by the market several months ago. So obviously we cannot go on with day after day after day with this huge drama. The Greek authorities need time to do what they have to do, and that's going to take years, not days, but years. So they need 2 or 3 years to bring their deficit down, and then they have to keep the austerity for a decade or two until the debt is back to where it should be.
Charles, what are the chances that Germany steps up? I mean, this is extremely unpopular.
Yes, I mean, there have been so many mistakes from the beginning. I think if the Europeans just let Greece deal with the IMF, that would be all fine. The problem really is this mingling by the French and the Germans and the President of the European Commission. Everybody wants to have his fingers in the soup.
Can we hold this guy?
And that's just making everything way more complex than it should be. It's a reasonably straightforward problem.
Well, Charles, one of the most straightforward things here about markets are that they wait for no one. No politician. They're going to wait for absolutely no one. They're marking the Greece debt and the stock market to absolutely where it should go. Why doesn't the Greek government just step up, admit the truth, and default like Mexico did and refinance, as opposed to becoming an Argentina, which is a very bad option?
But I bet you that's exactly what they are doing, except I suspect they are preparing with the IMF a clean rescheduling. I mean, what you don't want to do is what Argentina did. They rescheduled 10 years ago, and they haven't yet reached an agreement with their debtors. What you want to do is to have a clean rescheduling that's going to give the Greek government 2 or 3 years of a grace period of 2 or 3 years, with IMF financing the declining deficit during this period. That's complicated to do, and I bet you that's what they are discussing right now.
All right, Charles, we thank you very much. Charles Wyplosz there joining us. He is a professor and an economist.